Hi, I'm Will from Venture to Rome. Thanks for tuning in. Today, I'm going to show you one of my most favorite overlanding modifications of all time in eternity, which is the Outback Adventures Trailgater tailgate table, which is inside this box. I am going to install it on my 392. So we're gonna open it up, we're gonna see what's inside, I'm gonna walk you through the installation, and I'm gonna tell you what I think about it. Now, full disclosure here, Doug over at Outback Adventures sent me this table at no cost, but Kate and I bought one of these years ago to put on our Jeep JK, and we love it. We use it on every single trip, and it's one of the most useful modifications we have. So I actually reached out to Doug to ask him if it was okay if I made a video about this table. So you're gonna get a totally biased opinion from me. So sorry, not sorry. So first you gotta know that Outback Adventures is a small business located in Salt Lake City, Utah. And I love supporting local US-based businesses, especially when they make innovative, high quality gear like this one. So if you're looking to support US-based businesses, check this one out. I have friends who have installed cheaper tables on their tailgates, and they've actually told me that they wish they would have spent a little bit more and upgraded to something like this. So I don't regret spending the money on the table we have on the JK at all. Installation of this thing takes about 30 minutes. It can be done by one person, and you need one tool, which is a handheld screwdriver. Not a power driver, not a drill, just a handheld screwdriver. Let me show you why it's so easy. So Doug over at Outback Adventures designed this table so that you can install it easily, no drilling required. It uses all kind of the factory configurations to attach itself. And one of the secrets to his success is that he uses these little green plastic inserts, and these are kind of like a sheetrock screw, like the kind you'd use to hang something in your wall, in your house or your garage. And you insert these into the factory OEM spaces in the tailgate, and it holds the table secure. And I've had mine on for years on the JK, have had thousands of miles, and it hasn't budged. So let me show you step by step exactly how to get this thing on the back of your Jeep.
The instructions that come with the table are easy to read with good pictures and lots of detail. Outback sends you all the hardware you need, which isn't actually very much. You'll see green blind nut inserts, panhead screws with washers, and a couple bolts with plastic and rubber washers, and some plastic pulley handles. Step one is to remove the plastic tailgate cover. You can do this with a screwdriver or even your hands, but I'm using a plastic trim tool here to keep from breaking or scratching anything. This piece comes out very easily as long as you work all the way around it. Once you have it off, there are a couple clip inserts you have to remove. To speed things up, I used some needle nose pliers. The next thing you need to do is place the blind nut inserts. The use of these inserts is genius because it eliminates the need to drill into your tailgate. There are 5 on top and 5 on bottom. Follow the instructions for proper placement.
Okay, so the next step I think is pretty important, and that is you actually have to go with a screw in each one of these inserts that you put in and give it a few turns just to get the hole started. So that's in the instructions, also a super important point, because you want this screw to be able to grip correctly when you put on the tailgate table later.
It's recommended to use a hand screwdriver to do this step, as it's very easy to over torque these things with a powered screwdriver. The next step is to lay out the table so the side of it that will be pressed up against the Jeep tailgate is showing. Then stick the included weather stripping all around the outer edge. This seals the table to the tailgate and also provides a nice cushion that prevents any squeaks or rattles from happening when you're driving down bumpy roads. You'll need a pair of scissors or a knife to cut a few pieces so it fits nicely on the back of the table. Now lift the table, line the screw holes up with the blind nut inserts, and begin attaching the table to the tailgate with the included screws. You can see I did this by myself, but it's much easier if you have 2 people. One person to hold the table and one to insert the screws. You can see that I'm just hand tightening the screws. With a few screws in place, they can support the weight of the table while you work on the rest of it. At this point, keep the screws relatively loose. You'll tighten them down once all of the screws have successfully attached to the blind nut inserts. You want to keep the screws loose here so you have the wiggle room you might need to make sure the screws bite into the nut inserts. Again, it's not recommended that you use a power screwdriver here, so use a hand screwdriver to tighten down each of the screws. I tightened from the middle out on each side, both top and bottom. Next, insert the 2 additional bolts included in the kit, which are the last 2 bolts or screws that you'll use, and screw directly into the factory holes. Now put the included rubber grommets over the locking pins on each side. Lastly, attach the pin levers into the pin pulls on each side. This makes opening the table much easier.
So that's the basic Trailgater tailgate table, but this one comes with a fancy magnetic utensil or knife holder that also has an LED light strip on the bottom, which is very luxurious compared to the table that I have on my JK. but I cannot wait to see what this thing's like, so let's get this on.
There are a few additional bolts, washers, and clips needed to attach the magnet. Step 1 is to insert the bolts through the back of the mounting strip, making sure there are washers on each of the bolts. Next, attach the mounting strip to the backsplash of the table. The bolts screw directly into the factory Jeep holes. Now take the 2 middle clips, attach them to the outside of the magnet strip, then carefully put the magnet over the mounting strip. Once the magnet is on the strip, it's hard to get it back off, so go slow and be careful in this step. To install the external battery power for the LED light, screw in the battery holder by removing a mounting screw and reinserting it through the hole in the battery holder. Next, attach the external battery with an included zip tie and plug in the light. I found this light to be an excellent camp light, as it's just bright enough to light up the table without being overpowering and too bright.
Well, there's really only one thing left to do, and that's to put on this bamboo cutting board, and that just slides into place right there. Now you've got this extra prep space you can use, and it closes up so nice and easy. It opens nice and easy, and it was an easy installation, and it is a great table. If you want to see this thing in action on the back of my 392, then subscribe to the channel. If you're looking for more overlanding gear, then make sure to check out this playlist right here, because there's a lot of good information in there you might find useful. Until next time, I'm Will from Venture to Rome. Thanks for watching.